Buenas noches. Today is good evening. Today is Tuesday, February 8th. The board meeting was called to order today at 5:15 p.m. today with the board going directly into executive session under ORS 192.6602I to review and evaluate the performance of a superintendent or any other public officer, employee, or staff member, unless that person requests an open hearing. It is now 6 p.m. and we are reconvening our meeting with the public session, which is a regular business meeting. At this time, I will call on Director Inez Presley to read our welcome message.
I would love to, but I don't think I have what you want me to read.
Oh, it wouldn't be a world without COVID with having technology problems. So I'll continue. Buenas tardes, good afternoon. Welcome y bienvenidos at the Salem-Keizer School Board meeting. At all times, whether we meet in person or virtual, as we are tonight, we strive to be inclusive, respectful, and welcoming to our students, staff, educators, administrators, board members, and all community members. We welcome people of all genders, people of African descent, Black, African American, Asian descent, Arab descent, European descent, those who identify as Hispanic, Latinx people, indigenous to this land, and people of mixed and multiple descents. Languages spoken in our communities are welcome: Spanish, English, indigenous languages, sign language, Chukis, Somali, Russian, Chinese, Vietnamese, and many more. People with disabilities, visible or invisible, people of all religions, believers in all faiths or creeds, gay, lesbian, bisexual, heterosexual, pansexual, queer, or others for whom none of the labels fit. Survivors, your emotions, joy, bliss, grief, rage, indignation, contentment, disappointment, your families, genetic and otherwise, our veterans who proudly served and are currently serving our country, our elders to here in this space, in this room, in our lives, and those who have passed away. Yes, and finally, I'd like to welcome the ancestors who lived in this land where we live and work. Welcome the spirits of the Santiam, Kalapuya, Siletz, and Grand Ronde, the natives who lived in this area before the Europeans came. Welcome y bienvenidos. I would like to, at this time, ask that we all stand and hopefully board members can join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moving on to agenda item number 3C, we do have one agenda modification. Item 7B and 7C are postponed, so pulled from tonight's agenda. Is that clarifying with, I thought we were leaving one on, Superintendent Perry? You're muted.
Sorry about that. I think you were leaving, I'm trying to think which one. Sorry, I didn't have my notes here either. Vice Chair Carson Cottingham, do you remember which one we're leaving on?
I'm also scrambling to find the address. I
am too.
The smaller one of the two, the 2 unit versus the 157 unit.
It might be 7. It might be 7C.
Okay, we're leaving that one on.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So we will be removing item 7B, so pulled from tonight's agenda. At this time, I would turn it over for our spotlights to our Superintendent Perry.
All right, good evening, everyone. It's great to see you. And we have 3 spotlights. The first spotlight tonight is going to be presented by Cynthia Richardson, our Director of Student Equity, Access, and Advancement. Director Richardson.
Good evening, Chair Avila, board members, Superintendent Perry, and Grace. I'd like to take the next few minutes to honor Juan Cervantes, He is a community resource specialist to Latinx K-12 students in the Office of Student Equity, Access, and Advancement. There he is. One centers his work around what students need to be successful in school, which would be anything from helping them with homework to advocating for a student's particular needs. He aims to be that reliable adult figure in students' lives by showing compassion and a path to success. One has made a particular impact in assisting to raise the attendance rate and graduation rate for Latinx students. He has established systems to identify the needs of our students and to families and to prioritize how to meet those needs on his caseload. Most of all, he is teaching students the importance of obtaining an education, how to advocate for themselves, and how to overcome barriers and challenges. According to the data released by the Oregon Department of Education, the graduation rate for the 2021 school year is more than 80%. The district has seen a gain of more than 9 percentage points since 2016. 45% of Salem-Keizer Public Schools students identify as Hispanic or Latinx, and the graduation rate among those students has increased by nearly 10 percentage points since 2016. And it continues to grow to show that improvement when compared to pre-pandemic data. McKay High School, where one was one of my students when I was principal there, is a graduate, and he currently coaches football there and had an increase of over 2 percentage points from the previous school year in graduation rates for students who identify as Hispanic or Latinx. Our staff look to one for mentorship and support. He assists in training other staff in the Office of Student Access and Advancement. One has been an employee at Salem-Keizer Public Schools for 5 years and has become a go-to resource for how staff can be advocates for our students. One's work exemplifies our district's equity definition, eliminating all barriers so that all students get an education free of bias, systemic and instructional racism, therefore ensuring career and college readiness. One, on behalf of all of our schools, our students, our families, your coworkers, we thank you for your continued dedication to the Salem-Keizer community and students. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Juan, for all of your work. We really appreciate you. And you've got Dwight here being your champion online tonight too.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. It's an honor. Thank you guys. It's everything's, it's all a team, so it's all with the support of our team in the equity office. So it's all of us do our best together. And, like during this whole time, for a while I was running around in a scooter, I tore my Achilles. So being able to have support from the team, to be able to, sometimes like Marvin Mason, a big shout out to him, for the first few weeks we were driving, he was picking me up, we were going together to the school. So, it's all in the team, and thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Juan. All right, our next spotlight tonight is going to be shared by Sarah Leroy, our Director of Elementary Education.
Good evening, Chair Avila, board members, Superintendent Perry, and Grace. I would like to take the next few moments to honor Lois Colony from Assistance League Salem-Keizer for their work with Operation Art Adventures. Assistance League Salem-Keizer is a nonprofit organization that puts caring and commitment into action for the benefit of children and adults through community-based philanthropic programs. One of these programs that has directly impacted Salem-Keizer Public Schools is Operation Art Adventures, whose primary mission is to provide experiences in art and culture which students would not otherwise have access to. Previously, this was mostly done through providing funding for guest speakers and field trips. With current safety protocols preventing some of those options, this year the Assistance League decided to offer teachers the opportunity to apply for funding for projects in their classroom or across multiple classrooms. The hope for the projects is to provide art and cultural enrichment, which would tie into the curriculum, as well as fostering creativity and cultural understanding. Teachers were provided with an application to fill out and submit, detailing their target audience, specific activities, and how the project would be related to their curriculum, what materials they would need, or possible performers or artists. They could ask for funding between $500 and $1,000. Operation Art Adventures funded 3 projects. Students at Lamb Elementary were able to experience African drumming with a group from the West African Cultural Institute. This experience brought students together to celebrate music, dance, and African culture during Lamb's Multicultural Fair. Oscar Rodriguez from Grant Elementary will receive supplies for a sculpture project. Students will be sculpting 3D models, which will showcase the cultures they have been studying this year. The last project that was funded was a project led by Chelsea Thomas at Hayesville Elementary. This project will entail having students paint portraits on mosaic tiles of people who are change makers from various cultures they have studied, or even from their own communities. A local artist will be brought in to teach the students basics in portraiture. The projects that Operation Art Adventures funds will expose students to art and culture that they might otherwise miss. This fosters creativity and an appreciation for a variety of cultures. These projects have the possibility to create an atmosphere of inclusion and positivity. Lois of the Assistant League, Salem-Keizer says, I hope students will come to view differences as things to be embraced rather than feared. Lois, on behalf of the school district, thank you for your work with Assistance League and Operation Art Adventure.
Thank you. Our next spotlight is presented by Teresa Alfaro, our principal at Hammond Elementary School.
Can I just interrupt real fast? Just want to make a note that Director Bethel is still not with us, and neither is Director Guzman Ortiz tonight. So we'll update you all if they join. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. Buenas tardes. Chair Avila, Board Directors, and Superintendent Perry. It is my pleasure to welcome Kim Hanson and Kathy Moore from MAPS Credit Union to represent MAPS Community Foundation in tonight's Spotlight a Community Partner of the Month. MAPS Community Foundation, the giving hand of MAPS Credit Union, recently awarded teachers in the Mid-Willamette Valley region with $25,000 in grants to support innovative projects that will benefit K-12 students. Of the 31 teachers award, 19 of the grants were awarded to teachers selected from Salem-Keizer Public Schools. Grants award range from $350 to $1,000 for classroom projects, after-school enrichment, and activity that focus on mental health initiatives. Staff from MAPS branches selected grant winners from 99 applications, and award winners were given to districts in the surrounding community. K High School, many of whom have been in the college prep program since middle school, but have yet to set foot on a college campus. Chavez Elementary School plans to purchase ukuleles to start the Si Se Puede Ukulele Club to provide students with the opportunity to learn musical skills, build musical literacy, and learn about different cultural backgrounds. North Salem High School will put the funding towards a health electrophysics machine to enable students in the forensic science class to separate, measure, and analyze DNA to help them understand fingerprints and how families are connected. Speaking on behalf of students and staff at Hammond Elementary, we are excited that Clary Austri, our behavior specialist at Hammond Elementary, plans to purchase a color printer with the grant to create outdoor and hallway sensory courses to support students needing sensory and movement breaks. When asked the project how it would benefit students from Hammond, Clary said, "There are numerous ways having a color printer will support the social emotional learning from our students at Hammond Elementary. The color printer with facilitators making sensory pathways in and around our school. It will also help us individualize support systems for students in the classrooms. Additionally, it will enable us to print additional materials to strengthen our response to our Tier 2 social emotional learning needs. Muchas gracias. Thank you, Max Credit Union."
Thank you, Kim. It's nice to see you here in this space as well.
Yeah, good to see you. We just want to say thank you so much. I'm here tonight with Kathy Moore, who serves on the MAPS Community Foundation Board. And on behalf of MAPS and our Community Foundation, I just want to say thank you. This is a tremendous honor to receive this Community Partner Spotlight. It means so much to us. And Kathy and I got to see firsthand. We went out and delivered each of those teacher grants, and it was just incredible to see what is going on in our schools and with our teachers right now. We know it's a tough year, and just to see the positivity they're bringing forward and the creative and inspiring projects that they submitted in applying for these grants. We were just really moved by it, and just want to say thank you to all the district staff and teachers for everything they're doing on a daily basis. So thank you. It's a tremendous honor.
Thank you so much, and it's great to see you.
Okay, moving on to our next agenda item, which is our reports from Superintendent.
All right, good evening again. And Ethan, I'll have you hold the slides just a minute because I'm going to do a special little piece of my superintendent report. So I have Dwight Roberson here with me tonight. He is a counselor at South Salem High School. And I asked him here for a couple reasons. One, because it's National Counseling Week. Two, because I'm highlighting mental health supports for our students in some of my content tonight. And well, there's so many reasons I invited you. Three, you are a model for our pathway programs. And there's two people in this organization that when they tell you you're going to be an educator, you don't say no to. And right? And one of them is Miss Cynthia. And the other is Miss Olga Cobb. So he was in Cynthia's office in a position like Juan's, and she said, "You are going to be a counselor for us." And what can you say to Miss Cynthia? So, right? Yes. Anyway, so I don't want to speak too much. I just wanted to ask Dwight to share a few things about South. First of all, I asked him if he'd talk a little bit about their comm room and De-Stress Fest, and then share a little bit about what he believes the importance of having Black educators for our students in honor of Black History Month. So I'm going to turn it to you, but if you want anything from me, I will be right here.
All right. Well, thank you. And thank you for the opportunity. I'm just going to talk a little bit about what we're doing here at South Salem High School. So just right before finals, we had something called De-Stress Fest. It's actually our second year doing this. It went well the first year, so we decided to do it a second year. Tracy, one of our counselors at South, is the person that sees all over everything of it. We like to call it her baby. And it was something that was brought to us by students as well. They felt like they wanted an environment where during finals where they can like get away, detach from all the nerves and all that like that. So students came up with different like ideas, like making glitter jars, coloring rocks, even hanging out and taking pictures with Cesar, the no drama llama. So it was very, very, very amazing. The kids loved it. It was a good turnout. We were there every lunch, so A lunch, B lunch. Kids were excited to participate. We had shirts to sell. We also had, I think there was called lavender sodas that were awesome. Kids were lining up to eat, drink those. But everything that we did was, like every event was students' ideas. It wasn't the adults, so that was really awesome. It was a great turnout, like I said, and it's something that we'll probably do at the end of next semester as well. So I don't see why we should stop. And then the other thing that I think everybody at South Salem is really happy about is our comm room. Our comm room was created by admin, counseling staff, our health team, and especially our students. Our students advocated that they wanted a safe space where they can take a mental health break. And us as a counseling team and as a staff at South Salem thought that would be a great idea. And so we got over $6,000 in donations to the room, and we were able to furnish it, put lights, fidget toys, you name it in there for kids to be able to take a break and then get back to class. We thought it would be a good idea, especially coming from the health room. A lot of students would come with like headaches or stomach aches, and instead of having them come home, having them take a little break for like 15-30 minutes and then maybe be able to go to class. By doing that, we have I don't even know the number, but there's been plenty of students that have, instead of go home and missing the rest of the day of school, have returned to class and be able to continue the day and continue the education for the day, which is awesome. And it's great to have that available for our students. We've had nothing but great feedback from the students about the comm room. We even used it during De-Stress Fest as a place for kids to go to listen to like quiet music and maybe like draw and stuff like that. So it was really awesome. And the comm room is getting bigger. More stuff is getting into it every day. Shout out to Ryan for getting all those fidget toys and some of those furnitures that we have as well. And then the last thing you asked me to talk about was the importance of Black educators in the school district or just in the classroom. I think it's very important, especially for people of color. It gives them a sense of belonging to the school, especially if you're at a school that you're not the majority, you're the minority. It gives the students a place and a person to fall on. And if they need somebody to communicate with, maybe because they see themselves and they might be more to understand. But the importance of Black educators is great just for the sense of having people there to make the students want to strive to get better in education. I think that Black educators could put more Black experience in their classroom. So that means talking about and teaching stuff that is about Black education. And at the same time, I think that all teachers can do this. And I think that is the important thing, that if we want to have our students that are people of color to be more engaged in school, is putting the Black experience in school. And so that takes a collective effort, not just Black educators being there, but as a whole district from top down. And I feel like if we do that, like implying ethnic studies where we learn about all cultures, we'll have more students more engaged in the classroom and wanting to learn. And that goes even in English. We're doing things already in English, like we have Street Lit, which is awesome, but even other classes like in social science, if we can have like an African American studies class or LGBTQ class, all those different kind of things will keep our students more engaged, and it will increase our graduation rates and people of color, especially Black and African American, which right now is between 40 and 55%. And in some places it's lower. And I truly believe if we do this and we come together, we'll see a change. Kids will be more interested in coming to school. We won't see kids going from school to the prison pipeline because they're not engaged in school, so they're finding other things to do. They'll be in the school wanting to learn. At South Salem, Mr. Ricks, who's our librarian, has so many books that are of people of color. My students always talk about it. They're like, Mr. Ricks has another book that's written by a Black person, which is awesome. Keep our students engaged. These are things that we need at all schools, not just at South. I just pointed that out just because it's there, but we need this everywhere at all our schools. It will increase our kids to be more interested in education.
Thank
That's
you
wonderful.
so much. Yeah, we appreciate you, Dwight, so much. And please pass on happy school counseling week to your colleagues at South Salem High School. One statistic I'll share is that one Black teacher with a student before they are in third grade, that's also a Black student, a high school 7% higher on-time graduation rate and 13% higher and likely to enroll in college as well. So again, thank you, and thank you for taking the call from Ms. Cynthia.
Oh yeah, no problem. Okay. I appreciate it.
Yep. Have a great night too. Go home and hug your children.
I'm headed to class, so I'll see you guys later.
All right. Good to see you. All right, with that, I will have Ethan put the slides up. And if Grace is wondering about that calm room, your administration has said that students have been asking for that at McKay as well. And so tonight, part of our mental health presentation, you'll see we're putting some dedicated resources into McKay for some similar things. They did some fundraising. We're going to do some dedicated resources.
Yeah, we'll probably talk about it tomorrow in our equity meeting. So perfect.
There you go. Yes, exactly. All right. With that, I'll try to do a little quick through a few slides here, and then Ethan and Olga are going to join me as well. So first of all, you can go on to the one on Interactio, Ethan, and we'll click through them. We have a new simultaneous interpretation service for our board meetings. We have been asked by the coalition to really take a deep look. I want to definitely thank Assistant Superintendent Cobb for her really dedication to this project. So they are online with us tonight. Thank you, Interactio, for being here. Ultimately, when we get back to in-person board meetings, they will ask us to launch a mobile device. If we get to the place that we want to and are able to do multiple languages, there's a way to add multiple languages through the app as well. So they'll be listening in on their app when we get back to the boardroom. We've gotten really positive feedback last week or 2 weeks ago at our meeting, and our parents from the coalition are online again tonight. I want to tell them thank you for providing us feedback and helping us be sure that our Spanish channel is really as good as it needs to be. All right, next. I do know you all saw yesterday around the announcement around the Oregon Universal Masking Mandate and the change. What the change has basically done is shifted the decision-making to local school districts. For our decision-making, we can't make any change before March 31st. But the decision will rest with us. The thing to remember is that the universal masking is still recommended by the CDC, recommended by Oregon Health Authority, and recommended by ODE. And it's part of the layers of protection. So we're going to have to think deeply about if masks would be removed, what happens when there's a close contact? Then they're quarantined. Our test to stay is built off of, and the requirements for test to stay are built off of universal masking. So this news just came out yesterday. I'll work to get with our health experts and work with board leadership on how do we navigate the decision-making around this, and we'll take it in a thoughtful and deliberate way, is what I've been saying to the news media today. The decision came out yesterday. We need to study and think about what is our decision-making process. All right, next. Part one of our Safe and Welcoming Schools was on January 26th. This is just a quick update of that. A number of you were on this as well. If you could go on to the next one. Ethan, I'm going to go quick on these. This is some of the highlights related to that. People were thankful. We took the time to do it. It gave them a chance to ask questions. It helped them see kind of behind the scenes. One of the comments was around, they wish we would have addressed gun safety with parents. So we've taken that back as some really critical feedback and are thinking about with some of our partners, how do we think about some community outreach around gun safety. Sorry, our next, before we go on to that, our next one is coming up on, I think February 28th. We'll start getting out the messaging. We're highlighting social media use. And that's a really big deal right now. So we're going to highlight that in our next safety series. Next, we already talked a minute about School Counseling Week. We do have a couple videos that will be out on our social media in the next few days, coming from two of our fabulous counselors who've submitted videos, in addition to Dwight coming tonight. Really thankful for our school counselors. They're so on the front lines of suicide prevention, our social emotional health of our students, and they take on just a lot for our kids, especially in this time. So to every school counselor out there, I see you, I thank you. I cannot thank you enough for all that you do and how you show up for our kids every day. And these are just 3 examples tonight. All right, with that, Ethan, if you could take over and zip through our mental health supports fairly quickly. You have a full report in your written reports tonight, but we wanted to highlight some of the by the numbers work.
Thank you and good evening, Chair Avila and directors of the board, as well as Superintendent Perry. I think Christy set it up nicely in terms of discussing safe and welcoming schools, and so did Dwight Roberson at South, about talking about some of the efforts we're trying to do to promote mental health and wellness in our schools. So what I want to do is spend just a couple of minutes discussing with you our ongoing efforts for social and emotional supports and mental health supports throughout our schools for both students and staff. I first want to start by just giving a shout out to Chris Moore. He does a lot of work with almost all things wellness and mental health within our districts and providing behavior supports, but he's done an incredible amount of work in looking at all facets of mental health supports and really trying to promote awareness and help us be innovative in our efforts to promote wellness and mental health supports. So here are some things that I want to talk about in the next few slides. First, I want to discuss just a little bit about our partnerships that we're developing, our services that we provide, and also some of the participation that we have, as I see those being areas that we really need to celebrate. We provide services K through 12, so at our elementary schools all the way through our high schools, and they vary from some of the things that Dwight Roberson was talking about providing safe spaces and calm rooms. But we also provide counseling supports and also partner with service agencies like Marion County Health, Polk County, Trillium, Stronger Oregon, and more to provide a broad array of mental health services for our students and families. So some things that we're particularly proud of is some of the number of supports that we're able to provide with counselors. So I want to pay close attention to both the big number and the ratios, right? So for we have 120 school counselors, and so for every school counselor that we have, they support 335 students, which means that all students should have access to a counselor for a variety of reasons. If they never ever have somebody that they need to talk to, whether it's something traumatic or an ongoing situation where they need some guidance or support, they can go to their counselor to get that support or to point them in the right direction for extended services. We also have 20 social workers, which means that every school should have access to a social worker. Remember, at our elementary schools, they're divided by feeder level. So that ratio is 1 per 1,900 students. Look at the number of school psychologists. All these numbers have grown. And we've also have many of our staff trained in QRP. That's the question, persuade, refer. And we're growing a number of social workers as well. Community partnerships. So we're continuing to partner with the community and with community partners like Trillium, Marion County Health, and Polk County Health. And the number that we really want to slow down and take a moment to recognize is the number of families supported by Marion County Health, 266 families. So each number on there represents a student or family who is getting access to services that's helping them to grow, helping them with the needs that they have. And for our students, ultimately helping them to engage in services or engage in their education. Some other things that we want to add that Superintendent Perry mentioned earlier today was just our commitment to exploring ways to elevate services, especially for our North and McKay areas. We're doing everything from providing safe and calm rooms to mental health supports, additional consultations so that students will have access to counselors on site for one-to-one services, increasing the number of counselors that we have in a variety of services and events like the Stress Fest that Dwight discussed, wellness rooms, and also just elevating mental health services amongst our staff and our students so that and making them aware of what's available so that they, if they have any need, whether it's mental health or just wellness or physical health, we're thinking about teeing up a Wellness Wednesday, making sure that we're stressing the importance of self-care so that you can be productive in the classroom and beyond. So Superintendent Perry, anything I missed there?
Sorry, I just wanted to say that one of the real promising things is that Chris Moore has found a couple bicultural, bilingual counselors in the community, mental health therapists, who have agreed and have some time in their schedule to do small group work at North Salem High School. So that's a huge thing for our students. And we're releasing about $200,000 for each school, so about $400,000 to North and McKay, split between the two to really boost up some of those mental health supports, because we've heard that as a need.
And I know that this report, it said staff and students, and we primarily focus on our students, but I do want to note that district leadership, as well as Chris Moore, have focused a lot of time on how to find more services for our staff, whether that's some of a partnership with another organization, or whether it's a wellness challenge, like a STEPS challenge. We're trying to find more ways to elevate and promote wellness throughout to help support our staff as well.
All right. I'm going to switch topics then quickly and move on to dual language as one of our strategies Assistant Superintendent Cobb is going to share that. Again, we only have about 3 slides, but because this is an important initiative moving forward, we think it's good to just get you up to date so we can then update you in the future in the boardroom and at the budget committee level.
Thank you, Superintendent Perry. Good evening, Chair Avila, Board Directors, Ms. Grace, and again, Superintendent Perry. We are very excited, like Christy just shared, to start sharing with you our plans for dual language expansion. Some of you that were here a couple years ago will remember that support for the dual language program and the expansion of the program was a strategy that was elevated by our community during the feedback sessions of the SIA planning. So in next slide, please. There, thank you. So in here, we just cut a piece of our strategic plan. Dual language expansion is part of our strategic plan. And you'll see here under goal 1, to improve instruction, we have the expansion of the program listed. And by June, our hope is that we are identifying elementary, middle, and high schools that could start the program. We also have been working on aligning dual language practices and offering professional development opportunities for teachers that are currently in dual language programs. Remember, we have schools at elementary, middle, and high school, a few, but schools that are already doing dual language in our district, or for teachers that are teaching in bilingual strands that are interested in learning more about dual language or language development. We're also planning community engagements around the expansion goals and just really beginning to strategically and gradually plan the growth of the program for the next 3 to 5 years. Next slide, please. Thank you. In this one, you'll see some of our program goals. And so start with high grade level expectations as we have for all other students. In this occasion, our students are going to be learning in 2 languages. So really it opens up the opportunity for bilingualism and biliteracy for any students that are in the program. Also, our goal is to continue expecting high levels of proficiency in 2 languages, but for more students. We really want our students to be ready to go out to college, to workforce with language as another incredible skill and another asset we can send them off with. The other 2, thank you, Aitan. We want to allow students just an authentic opportunity to expand knowledge about culture, cultural competence, and all the various dimensions of awareness that being around different cultures offer our students. And that last bullet is very, very important for us. We want to make a commitment to develop an understanding of our students, their heritage, their background, the assets that they each bring to our classroom, and just really continue encouraging that critical consciousness of what it means to be part of the community that we have built in Salem-Keizer. And then that bottom statement is really important for us. We really want every student and family who would like this opportunity to have it. So that's our goal in the next 3 to 5 years, to continue growing and developing the program. Next slide, please. This one is really important, and we'll bring it back up over and over as we tell you about dual language, because there are 3 key pillars in our for the program, and there can't be one without the other. And so that again, we'll bring these up again and again so that we can all share common language as we share these goals with our community and our parents that are interested. That first pillar that talks about bilingualism and biliteracy really speaks to the gift that we give students, because students are learning content via 2 languages, right? So they must be able to speak, read, write, listen, and use each of those 2 languages as support for the other. So the flexibility that this creates in their brains is pretty incredible, and we have seen the results of what happens when students are graduating with that seal of biliteracy already in our programs. That second pillar talks about high academic achievement for each student in both program languages. And this speaks to all the research that demonstrates that students learning 2 languages do as well or better than other monolingual peers in high stakes tests. Students have an opportunity to develop better problem solving skills, improve working memory, and increase cognitive development. And then that third pillar that is really, really important and critical to our work is that that students in dual language programs should be able to see the similarities and differences in each other, but rather than identifying them as obstacles to overcome, they are viewed as opportunities to connect and get to know each other and get to know where the other person comes from and what makes them who they are. Language and culture are really assets to learn about, to develop, and to celebrate. Really, this last pillar is about equity, inclusion, and honoring our students' backgrounds and heritage. So again, like I said, a very important one for us in this moment. And last slide, Ethan. Thank you. So this slide is just a little view of the year and our plans for the year. It's our implementation plan. If you look at the first 2 blue arrows, we've had a pre-meeting. I have to say first, this work is being done by our Office of Multicultural Education under the direction of Teresa Tolento, our Director of Curriculum and Instruction for Elementary, and our coordinator, Robin Farrow Romero, who are both incredible advocates and experts in language acquisition and dual language programs. As part of their work, they secured a contract with Dual Language New Mexico, which is an education organization that has helped districts like us and will help us to expand our program and really measure effective outcomes for students. So we're very excited with this new partnership. We have had a few meetings with them, and then we're having our next meeting with them and some district leaders, I think, in the next 2 weeks. So again, we are kind of in that blue, the second blue arrow in March, where we are gathering teams for Salem-Keizer so that we can all have a common understanding of the essential components of dual language education. At some point, the team from Dual Language New Mexico will come and visit schools to just tell us about readiness and give us some recommendations for those elementary, middle, and high schools that we are wanting to start the program on. And then you'll see in there is, in the purple, there is a district advisory team, and we're hoping we have some school board participation, maybe budget committee participation, and of course, community teachers and district leaders. And then there's also a leadership team that will come alongside the advisory and just talk about outcomes, develop some measures, and then start really working towards that success of implementation. And then in green and yellow, you see described just some of the professional developments and the differentiation on the professional development that the Dual Language of New Mexico consultants will offer us for schools that are already doing dual language, and then for schools that are interested in becoming a dual language school. Okay, that is my last slide. And then Christy, Ton, is there anything that I maybe forgot about our dual language expansion?
No, I don't think so. I think you did a good job. And I'll go ahead and let Ethan take the slide down because Aaron's going to present the video. As he's getting that video up, I just wanted to tie back to one of the mental health supports, that addition for North and McKay. A question might be asked about kind of why now, where's the money? Remember, we did have room in the budget around the SRO contract. So we've shifted that remaining amount into some contracted services, some FTE, some stuff and things for North and McKay to really boost their add another layer of mental health supports to those schools. So those are Gen Fund expenditures and will roll up in the budget for next year. So, and I know that was asked several places, maybe not in the boardroom, but that's where those came from. All right, with that, this is our middle school honor choir. Just a little snippet. I thought it was great to end with some music from our students. They participated in this on All City Honor Choir a few weeks ago. And a huge thank you to CCTV, who comes in and films all of that and broadcasts for parents and families. And of course, the music department and our music educators who lead that work. All right, with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Chair Avila.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It was a very pleasure to hear them sing and motivated me to go attend. I think it was February 19th, I believe it is. At this time, I'd like to take a 5-minute break and we can get started at 7 o'clock. So we'll see you all back here at 7:01 now, 6:56 right now. Thank you. Excellent. Are we able to pin the clock? For public comment?
Chair Avila, you can pin it for your own view if you hit the three dots on the corner. CC Media will pin it for viewers.
Great, thank you. Okay, so moving on to agenda item number 6, it's come time for public comment. We will have both Zoom and phone callers today. We will allow 45 minutes to hear public comment. We will first focus on Zoom and phone calls with comment on specific board action items, followed by others as time allows. Each caller has 3 minutes with additional 3 minutes for translation if needed. Please state your name and city of residence for the record. For everyone to better understand the length of each call, we've added a countdown timer to the screen. The timer counts down for 3 minutes. At 30 seconds, it turns from green to yellow. At 1 second, it turns red and plays a short bell to signal time is up. This is a new mechanism, so we ask for your understanding as we learn how it works more. Please be mindful of your pace for our interpreters. I may interrupt for slow down. Before we get to callers, we'll have our Director of Community Relations and Communications, Ms. Sylvia McDaniel, read the summary of written public comment received. As a reminder, all board members received a written comment, which will be posted to the website along with the summary tomorrow. Ms. McDaniel, may you read the summary, please?
Thank you, Chair Avila, Board Directors, Superintendent Perry. We had 23 comments, written comments. They commented on Black History Month proclamation, masks and vaccines, tax abatement, superintendent performance, director resignations, redistributing, that word always gets me, SRO funding, and electric school buses. And some of the comments reads as follows. On Black History Month, several comments supported the proclamation and the need to support equity and anti-racism education. They want students to learn accurate history. A couple of the comments were against the proclamation, saying it encouraged Black students to be victims and that white children have it harder getting jobs than their peers of color, but supports students learning about pivotal Black people who contributed to our country. Regarding masks, about half the comments support masks in schools and half support removing masks. Supports say students and staff feel comfortable wearing masks. Safety and health of students is top priority. Layered approach to masks would mean students can continue to learn in classrooms, support the district and staff in the use of masks in our buildings to help combat illness, and wearing masks and getting vaccinated is the best way to stay safe. Those supporting removal of masks say some students have already tested positive for COVID. Cases usually mild, masking is futile. Parents should have choice, has negative impacts on mental health and social emotional development. And it's wrong to fire staff who aren't vaccinated. Regarding the tax abatement, comments were not in support of the tax abatement. Some were not in opposition to building, but don't want tax abatement because building isn't for low-income housing. Said action doesn't fit with equity lens and further marginalizes members of community. Might be in favor if tied to low-income housing. Superintendent performance, some comments did not approve of the superintendent's performance, saying district has low grad rates, higher dropout rates, safety issues, high absenteeism. Some comments do not agree with decision to not have SRO in schools, saying violence on campus has increased. One comment supports the superintendent and school board for standing up for safety and students. keeping kids in school, and supporting safety by following mental health guidelines. Director resignations. A couple of comments mentioned that Directors Bethel and Hyen should resign. Redistribute SRO funding. A couple of comments supported cancellation of the SRO contract, but want to know how the funds are being spent currently. Comments mentioned overcoming barriers to success, culturally responsive mental health counseling, and anti-racism are the areas that should be invested in with those funds. Electric school buses. One comment supports the grants for electric school buses and seed tech programs. Very good for the school district. And that is the summary to be posted on the website.
Thank you so much, Director Carson, Ashley Carson Cunningham.
Thank you. Before we take the first caller for public comment, we just wanted to ask people who've signed up to testify, if you are voicing a similar opinion to somebody else who's previously testified, we're just asking that maybe you shorten your testimony and state what you support about somebody's position prior to you speaking, so we can maybe shorten up the length of time and get to more people. We did have a lot of people sign up tonight, and we want to make sure we can hear as many voices as possible and understand, what you're trying to voice to the community. So sometimes we have people coming from different groups that are saying a similar message on all different topics, all different groups. If you are one of those folks, if you wouldn't mind just saying something like, I support what so-and-so said on X, Y, and Z topic, and I want to add the following. So we're just asking that as a courtesy so we could try to get through more folks tonight. And then, of course, as always, we take feedback on our process. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Vice Chair. May we get the first caller on the line?
Yeah, our first caller this evening is Angelique Prater. Angelique, are you able to unmute?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead and get started.
Hello, my name is Angelique, and I will not be saying any more information about myself due to the fact that there are white supremacists on the school board and listening to this meeting. Before anything else, I would like to express my support for the Black History Month proclamation. It is incredibly important to address the centuries of colonialism, racism, and white supremacy that still exist as we speak. Black Lives Matter, and it is important to celebrate Black people and students. However, this proclamation is the bare minimum and performative. This school board does absolutely nothing to uplift Black people and Black students. The members of the school board continue to allow their colleagues to harm the Black community rhetorically and through policy. As we speak, this entire school board is responsible for the continued criminalization of Black students through the $600,000 investment into more security guards. To support the liberation of Black students along with other students of color, the other $400,000 remaining from the SRO contract needs to be reinvested into these same students that your district has systematically harmed for decades. This includes more mental health counselors, especially of color, more educators of color, ethnic studies programs, culturally responsive after-school activities and resources, and more. Additionally, the expansions made for security personnel need to be terminated as soon as possible. Every day that marginalized students enter their school building full of policing forces is another day that another marginalized student is criminalized and could potentially end up in prison. I noticed in your earlier updates that you plan on expanding mental health resources for North and McKay. Luce needs to be credited for continuing to advocate for these resources, which you otherwise would not have considered investing to. Students of color deserve to feel comfortable and, most importantly, safe in their schools. Beyond policing, the health of our marginalized students should be a top priority. While anti-maskers and anti-vaxxers have come here to express their racist beliefs, it is important to say that masks do work and students should continue wearing masks in schools. COVID outbreaks continue to happen, and allowing students to walk around in their schools without any protection during the pandemic of an airborne disease is quite frankly white supremacy. Believing that everyone has to eventually get COVID is a eugenicist way of thinking. Immunocompromised and disabled people cannot afford to get such a grave disease. Above all, students should not have to choose between their health and their education. People of color are the most severely impacted by COVID-19, and because of that, they should be protected. These white supremacist, anti-masker crybabies whine about a piece of cloth on their face because they have never experienced the hardships of people of color in their lives, and it shows. Anyone on the school board who believes that masks in school should be optional rather than mandatory is a white supremacist. Finally, I do not support the tax abatements for mixed income housing properties. These properties do not support low-income families and only serve those of high income. Even if they have quote-unquote affordable units, they are not mainly serving those in our community. Supporting tax abatements for these
Thank you, Angelique. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Emily, can we get the next caller on the line?
Yeah, our next caller is Roberto Garces Mendez. Roberto, are you able to unmute?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead and get started.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Tlasoltecan, and I will not be sharing any more information due to the presence and outright outspokenness of white supremacy and white supremacists here at the school board. First and foremost, I want to say that Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter each and every single day, and this month's proclamation is the bare minimum that Black students deserve. I think it is quite ironic proclaiming the Salem-Keizer Black History Month, yet there is currently $600,000 worth of surveillance in the form of security guards and practically little to no support for Black students and other students of color. I demand that $600,000 alongside the remaining $400,000 be reinvested into what actually helps students, such as hiring more mental health counselors, especially those of color, hiring educators of color, creating culturally competent ethnic studies in every school, and partnering with local organizations of color, namely those that are Black, Indigenous, and led by people of color. Secondly, I would like to declare that this school board must not continue with the consideration of tax abatement for property taxes. The school board has a crucial decision to make. Let me eliminate the impact of the tax abatement for the mixed income properties. The tax abatements will contribute and fuel the continuation of gentrification of our communities, especially those of color in low-income neighborhoods. Following this logic displaces students and creates even more stress and uncertainty during this pandemic. This would be a direct violation of the anti-racist lens that is supposedly present in the school board. Help students first by rejecting tax abatements. Lastly, I wish that all of you support the continual mask mandates for Salem-Keizer schools. To make it quite clear, anti-maskers are white supremacists. Believing that contracting the virus is in any way a somehow positive reflection of strain aside, anti-masking purposely ignores immunocompromised people and communities of color, who are the most vulnerable and most impacted communities. This is a direct product of eugenics, a notable pillar of white supremacy. To combat white supremacy is by continuing the requirement of wearing masks in our schools. Although members of the school board would like you to believe that wearing masks is a violation of personal freedom and liberties, what is actually being violated are the lives of marginalized communities, especially those of color.
Thank you, Roberto.
Great. Our next caller is Nayeli. Nayeli, are you able to unmute? That'll be *6 on your phone. Chair Avila, if you would like, I can move on to the next caller and come back to Nayeli.
Yes, please.
Putting them in now. Our next caller is Alex. Alex, are you able to unmute? Oh, Nayeli, actually, it looks like you were able to unmute. Are you there?
Hello.
Hi, Nayeli.
Hello?
Go ahead and get started.
Hi. Today I'm calling in support of the Black History Month proclamation. This proclamation is the bare minimum in honoring the history of Black communities that has been systemically erased under colonialism, white supremacy, and anti-Black racism. Black Lives Matter. We should invest in counseling and not security, and stop hiring special security personnel. Culturally responsive. We need to get culturally.
Emma, it looks like we lost her. Can we try with the next caller and see if Niley can reconnect?
Yep, that works great. So Alex, are you able to unmute?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead and get started.
Okay, I'll get started. Hi, my name is Alex, and that's the further information I'll be giving due to the white supremacy on the board and those who are watching. I'll first start off that I support the proclamation for Black History Month. This proclamation is the bare minimum to honoring the history that has been systematically erased under colonialism, anti-Black, and white supremacy. Black Lives Matter is important not only this month, but all year long and those on forward. I just want to start off by saying I support keeping masks on. For those who are protesting masks, are the ones who have the access to healthcare, while those who don't are getting harmed in the process. Y'all talk about being pro-life, but yet you lack the careness for those who don't have access to those healthcare. While moving on to topics, I demand that Marty Hain, which is a 3%er, and Daniel Bethel, which is homophobic, transphobic, and a bigot, to resign from the board. I want to ask that Osvaldo and Ashley to push for taxing the building, because it's important. Not only, it's not supporting the communities of low income as they talk about. If we actually think about it and look into it, you see that those are not affordable housing, and that it's important for those to get taxed because gentrification is real and it's happening in front of everybody. I also want to push for, the fact that it's important that we continue the hard work of supporting youth of color. During especially these times, we see that a lot of these adults and that are attacking the youth, which is not okay, Seeing the fact that the lack of careness from this board on not supporting their students who are being attacked by grown-ups who know better for sure is not okay. I need to see more support for those students and students of color in general. We see that we're in a pandemic. We're living in a pandemic where we see that the lack of careness from some of the school board members to the community members in Salem-Keizer School District.
All right, our next caller is Abigail Eckert. Abigail, are you able to unmute? That'll be *6 on your phone.
Hi, my name is Abigail Eckhart. Thank you, Chair Avila and Superintendent Perry, for your time today. First and foremost, I wanted to say to vote yes to pass the Black History Month proclamation. I also wanted to say to vote no to the tax abatement. I also want to thank you for expanding the dual language program. I was very excited to see that. I've been actually talking with my own family about looking and searching out a dual language program for our children. I want to get down to it. As far as student supports go and mental health, I think it's sad that we've gotten to this point in time that we are having to have a safe room for children who are in high school. We have to ask ourselves, what are we doing wrong? Where did we go wrong? I think one of the biggest contributions to the downturn in mental health in our youth is the pandemic. I know for myself personally, the last 2 years has brought a lot of loss to our own family. And it's something that is weighing on all of us. I think it's important that we not sell our children out for money via the ESSER funds. I think it's also important that school board members aren't on their phones when they're in a board meeting. It's really obvious to us as parents watching when we see you guys texting, and I think that's really disrespectful to people who are coming to you for, to bring our concerns and our cares to you. As far as masks go, I think you've heard from parents all over, especially today in front of the school board or in front of the district offices when hundreds of parents came out in support of ending these mask mandates. We are asking that you follow along with the ODE guidelines as far as ending it on March 31st and not discriminating against parents who are not vaccinated and allowing us to volunteer in our children's classrooms. It is not right. There are people who have very firm religious beliefs against vaccinations, and you are violating religious freedom. And I strongly feel that there will be consequences for that as far as pushback legally. I don't think it's right what you're doing to our children. I think it's time that you listen to people who don't read off of a script of talking points that are being sent to them by, organizations, and actually listen to parents who put together thoughtful, their own words and their own concerns. With that being said, thank you for your time, and I hope you will listen to the parents who are coming forward today.
Thank you, Abigail.
All right, our next caller is Levy Herrera Lopez that is joining us via Zoom.
Good evening, Chair Avila, board members, Superintendent Perry, and Student Advisor Caldwell. My name is Levy Herrera Lopez. I'm a resident of Zone 5. I want to first thank you for considering and adopting a resolution recognizing Black History Month. For many years, the existence of people of color was barely recognized in our district, except for in some negative context. So this proclamation and similar actions may be the bare minimum, but they do signal a step forward, especially in the face of people who continue to oppose inclusion, diversity, and equity. I would also like to express my continued appreciation for all of the teachers and staff who work in our public schools, including Superintendent Perry. We have all been through a lot of trauma recently. We're all dealing with it in our own way. But we have asked our school and other first responders to carry a uniquely heavy burden. So appreciation for them is the minimum, but it's also not enough. We must make sure that they have what they need to do their work safely and efficiently. Each of us in this community also needs to do our part to ensure that every student can graduate, find stable employment, and can live a healthy life. But we also have to be very careful about whom we get involved with. At one recent parental involvement forum held in Keizer, information from an anti-LGBTQ group was made available to participants. At another forum held in a neighboring school district, there was a guest speaker from a local anti-LGBTQ group. These forums feature topics and speakers against public health protocols, in support of pulling students out of public schools, against comprehensive sexual education, against mental health supports, and against equity. Both forums were promoted or attended by current and former district employees and by many of the people we regularly hear from at these school board meetings. And at least one was attended by current board members. It is great that many people are getting involved more now or for the first time, but we all have to do our part to make sure our community and schools are safe for everyone. One way to do this is by not indulging anti-LGBTQ or other bigoted speech of any kind. It's crazy to think that it's 2022 and, the media promised us flying cars, but we're still fighting the fights from centuries ago, it feels like. So we just want to make sure that schools are really safe spaces for kids, especially because they were not safe spaces for all kids prior to the pandemic. So I want to thank you for the work that you've been doing, and just, thank you.
Thank you, Levy.
Okay, our next caller is Sandra Hernandez. Sandra, are you able to unmute?
Yes.
Go ahead and
My
get
name
started.
is Sandra, and I am okay. Well, my name is Sandra, and I am a former student in this district, and now I get to work with students of color who attend our public schools. First and foremost, I would like to express my support for agenda item 7A, the proclamation for Black History Month, Black Lives Matter. We must remember that this proclamation, as many people have said it, is a bare minimum in uplifting our Black students, Black communities, and in recognizing that there has been an intentional erasure of the Black history and history of Black communities here in the U.S. and around the world due to the 520 years of colonization, exploitation, and anti-Black white supremacy. Unlike the comments made by current board members, or one of the board members, Daniel Bethel, where she expressed not wanting her children to learn about race, gender pronouns, or sexual orientation, honoring history of the marginalized communities here in the U.S. benefits us all. There is no liberation for anyone until we have a liberation for everyone. Black Lives Matter. I also support the continued mandated masking in our Salem-Keizer school district. We must do everything possible to protect our vulnerable communities until COVID-19 no longer poses a threat to anyone. As for action items 7B and 7C, I do not support any tax abatements for the discussed properties. This is an issue that addresses long-term economic and community displacement. Downtown businesses, spaces, and surrounding areas are already increasingly inaccessible to low-income communities. Thus, our focus should be on working with our city and state to bring in actual low-income housing and housing assistance for students of low income instead of worrying about how to benefit downtown developers. Lastly, I would like to remind this board, the district, and Superintendent Christy Perry of a very important issue, and this issue, again, is surrounding equity and racial justice. The decision to reinvest $600,000 of SRO funds into the different forms of policing, such as security specialists, is continuing to systemically feed the school-to-prison pipeline. So my demand today, along with all the students I work with and other community members, parents, and educators, is that we must reinvest all $1 million into the education and support for students that are non-punitive, especially as education and mental health gaps grow due to the physical health, economic, education, and mental health barriers caused by COVID-19. I also ask that parents in this district begin to respect youth leaders in this community and stop attacking them, including in harassing them online, and that our board members and district do everything possible to protect our students from adults who are harassing them.
Okay, our next public comment is from Cindy. Cindy, are you able to unmute? That'll be *6 on your phone. Okay, we can go ahead and, oh, nope, looks like she deleted.
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you. Go ahead and get started.
All right. So, okay, one moment. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm in support of the district's Black History Proclamation. This district and school board has historically caused so much damage in spewing racist ideology overtly and systemically by its colonial frame policies, agendas, etc. This is a bare minimum. Just like your Zoom backgrounds that change each month, you must recognize that performativeness only gets you so far, image-wise. So I ask you to ask yourself, what am I doing to actually help Black students, Black families, and Black community members as a whole? Are you advocating for more mental health resources, catering to those who face institutionalized oppression? Or are you creating more barriers in place that promote criminalization, racism, white supremacy, and the school to prison and deportation pipeline? And if that's the case, you should do students a favor and resign. Satya, Marty, Bethel, looking at you. Are you all advocating for the investments into these things that matter and brutally need funding, or are you
investing in security guards or surveillance, because if you are, that is not anti-racist. That is not caring about your students. That is only further traumatizing them. You cannot call yourself a mental health advocate or an ally if you are doing these things. It's all interconnected. So I demand that we invest in counseling, not security. We need all 1 million SRO funds that BIPOC students fought for to go into the education of students and the immediate cancellation of security specialists. As leaders in the district, we must do this. Safe and welcoming schools means no further criminalization. I also support voting no on the tax abatements for property and demand the advocacy on your part of lower income housing as well, because another part of advocating for your students in this district is denouncing gentrification. I also support keeping our students and school staff safe from COVID-19, which means continuing masks for everyone in the school district.
Thank you, Cindy.
Okay, our next public comment is from Connie. Connie, are you able to unmute? It'll be *6 7 on your phone. Oh, sorry, just *6, excuse me.
Hello.
Sí, buenas tardes.
Sí, buenas tardes.
Mi nombre, miembros de la Junta y Superintendente Pérez, mi nombre es Marisela Lagos. Soy la coordinadora del grupo de liderazgo de padres y madres líderes de la Coalición para la Igualdad de Salem-Keizer. Los padres de la Coalición para la Igualdad de Salem-Keizer han estado aquí constantemente durante 22 años, ayudando a nuestro distrito escolar a mejorar en la lectura, escritura y matemáticas. Esta noche quiero dejar en claro a todos los padres que tienen niños y jóvenes en nuestras escuelas que los padres y madres líderes de la Coalición para la Igualdad de Salem-Keizer apoyan plenamente el mandato de las mascarillas de Oregon y el mandato federal de las mascarillas. Nuestro mandato de máscaras estatales y federales han salvado miles de vidas en nuestras escuelas en Oregon y aquí en Salem-Keizer. Estos mandatos de máscaras han estado protegiendo a nuestros maestros y personal que ayudan a nuestros niños a aprender todos los días. Todos nosotros queremos agradecer a la Superintendente Christy Perry y a la mayoría de nuestros miembros de la mesa directiva escolar por mantenerse fuertes en continuo apoyo a los mandatos estatales y federales de que todos los que ingresan a nuestras escuelas siempre deben usar y mantener sus máscaras puestas mientras se encuentren en nuestros edificios escolares. Además, queremos insistir con nuestra superintendente y los miembros de su gabinete que a medida que comience elaborando la propuesta del presupuesto, la superintendente para el año escolar 2022-2023, la superintendente refuerce el apoyo financiero para que los programas de lectura, escritura y matemáticas, para que nuestros niños puedan recuperar el terreno académico que han perdido en los 2 últimos años en esta pandemia. Este año 2022 estamos comprometidos más que nunca en apoyar a nuestros maestros y asistentes y al personal de apoyo para que juntos, maestros y estudiantes y padres, podamos cerrar la brecha académica para nuestros 17,000 niños y jóvenes latinos en nuestro distrito escolar. Una vez más, agradezco a todos los miembros de la mesa directiva escolar y a la superintendente por reconocer el importante papel que desempeñan los padres para cerrar nuestras brechas de rendimiento académico y la salud y la seguridad física y mental de nuestros hijos. Trabajando en equipo, podemos recuperar el terreno académico que nuestros niños, niñas y adolescentes han ido perdiendo en los últimos 2 años de la pandemia. Gracias.
Chair Avila, this is Olga Cobb. I will read Marisela's statement in English. Good afternoon, school board members and Superintendent Perry. My name is Marisela Lagos, and I am the coordinator of the Parent Leadership Group for the Salem-Keizer Coalition for Equality.
No.
Erin, am I okay to continue?
Yes, please.
Okay. The parents of the Salem-Keizer Coalition for Equality have consistently been here for 22 years, helping our school district improve our children's reading, writing, and math. Tonight, I want to make it clear to every parent who has children and youth in our schools, the fathers and mother leaders of the Salem-Keizer Coalition for Equality are in full support of the Oregon mask mandate and the federal mask mandate. Our state and federal mask mandates have saved thousands of lives across our schools in Oregon and here in Salem-Keizer. It has been protecting our teachers and staff personnel who help our children learn every day. We want to thank Superintendent Perry and most of our school board members for standing strong and continuing to support the state and federal mandates that everyone who enters our schools must have, wear, and keep their masks. Also, we want to insist with our superintendent and her cabinet members that as they begin to build the superintendent's budget proposal for 22-23 school year, she reinforces the need of support for the reading, writing, and math programs so that our students can recover the academic ground they have lost in the last 2 years of this pandemic. In this year, 2022, we are more committed than ever to supporting our teachers and teachers' aides so that together, teachers, students, and parents, we can close the academic gap for our 17,000 Latino children in our school district. Again, we thank all of the school board members and the superintendent for recognizing the important role that parents play in solving our academic achievement gaps and the mental and physical health and safety of our children. By working together as a team, we can regain the academic ground that our children and adolescents have been losing. Thank you, Marisela.
Muchas gracias, Marisela. Thank you very much, Marisela.
And Chair Avila, I just wanted to clarify one piece really quickly, that this who spoke looks like it was Marisela. It looks like we had the same phone number for both two callers, so I just want to clarify that that one was Marisela.
Thank you.
Our next caller is Julissa Rodriguez. Julissa, are you able to unmute?
Yes, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, my name is Julissa Rodriguez, and I'm an educator in the district. My comments today are about the Black History Month and with the taxing of the new developments. First and foremost, I hope the board signs a proclamation for the Black History Month, but along with that, we need to include sufficient time in our curriculum to be able to thoroughly teach U.S. history in our schools, especially since a lot of what we deem as Black history is very, very current. If you know anyone who is 70, that 70-year-old could have experienced segregation, and that 70-year-old is older than Ruby Bridges. As it is right now, elementary school students are getting into middle school with very little U.S. history knowledge. Elementary students get at most 3 20-minute sessions a week that we have to divide between social studies and science. Moving on, my second comment is the tax of the new developments. I hope the board encourages that those new developments do get taxed because our schools need the extra funds, especially those in the areas where the buildings are going to be constructed in. Elementary school students should not have to be doing jogathons to be collecting money for books or field trips. And high school students should also not be having to do all these fundraisers to be able to get new sporting gear. That should all be automatically get that in their school experience for free. Continuing on, the board needs to be reinvesting the funds for the end of the SROs into counseling. Our counselors, just like our nurses and every other role in the district, are disgustingly overworked, and it's the students that suffer as a result. Counselors are stretched so thin that it's hard for them to create meaningful relationship with the students that need them because they could barely be seen by the number of students that need to see them. So please reinvest into our students. And lastly, please leave the masking rules in place to protect our students and staff. Any more loss of staff or any more staff being sick will be detrimental to the operations in our schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Julissa.
And we're going to try Connie again. Connie, are you there? Are you able to unmute? Okay, doesn't look like. Oh, Connie?
Disculpen, hubo una confusión. Están marcándome a mí en vez de la señora Connie.
Ok, gracias.
Pero puedo hacerlo por ella.
¿Connie está con usted?
No.
Ok, gracias. Emily, this is Marisela's number, and so you're calling Marisela again.
We will go ahead and move on to the next caller, which will be Andres. Andres, are you able to unmute?
Marisela, si quiere colgar.
Sí, disculpe.
No, gracias.
Andres, that'll be *6 on your phone.
Could be Mariano as well. We have both names listed.
Chair Vila, if you would like, I can move on to the next caller.
Let's try.
Okay, our next public comment will be via Zoom, and it'll be Andrew Hickey. Andrew, are you able to turn on your camera and unmute for your public comment?
Yes. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Good evening, school board directors. My name is Andrew Hickey, and I'm a parent of a student in Salem-Keizer School District. In a public Facebook exchange following the January 11th school board meeting, a group named Parents' Rights in Education, or PRIE, expressed concern to members of a local group named SK We Stand Together for celebrating the passage of a parent engagement proclamation. PRIE was upset the proclamation didn't go far enough and excluded specific text about the central authority of parents as granted by the US Constitution. In this exchange, members of SK We Stand Together assured them that this was just their first move, and that considering the, quote, liberal tilt of the Salem-Keizer School District Board, that this was a great first step. So why is this little exchange so important, and what is this first step towards? It's important because groups like PRIE, whose stated mission is to politicize school districts across America, are on the hunt. They are finding willing partners in many states across the country. Locally, groups like SK We Stand Together and others echo and amplify the propaganda and misinformation from main content hubs like PRIE and other even more extreme groups. These extremist right-wing groups strategically targeting school boards, administrators, and teachers are absolutely part of a national strategy to cripple public education with an onslaught of propaganda and daily chum of misinformation. They use public health issues to rally support and stir anger, and they use that support to push an agenda of hysterical misinformation about curriculum, sexual health education, and they push to discredit our teachers and labor unions that support them. It's normal to be concerned for the health, safety, and education of our students, especially in times like these where management of this pandemic on all levels has been less than ideal. But it's unacceptable to distort that concern into fear, and even worse, to stoke that fear for the purposes of fueling a culture war that has more to do with adult fragility and ends up jeopardizing even further the health, safety, and education of our students. In some parts of this country, extremist political groups are banning or burning books. Other states are passing legislation that criminalizes teaching American history. Some groups are even advocating for violence. And groups like PRIE are sounding and elevating this call for battle, a call to descend on school boards nationwide. Parents, students, and communities watching, or community members watching from the sidelines, these groups are coming for school children and their futures, and that's not hyperbole. Their stated purpose is to politicize the school board and mount an endless culture war to satisfy their own rigid ideologies. It's got little to do with our kids. It's adults brimming with conspiracy theories being fueled by national money and coordinated propaganda. Parents and community should be concerned at how K-12 education has been handled at all levels during this public health crisis, but please be wary of these extremist groups looking to turn your concern for kids into a weapon they can use for their battle. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew.
And Chair Vila, I believe this time we do have Connie on the line, and it looks like she is unmuted. So Connie, are you there?
Sí, ¿me escuchan?
Sí.
Okay, gracias. Okay.
Ya puede comenzar.
Okay, permítame.
Taking 1 second to get ready.
Ok, buenas tardes a miembros de la mesa directiva escolar, Superintendente Cristi Perre. Mi nombre es Connie Chávez y soy miembro del grupo del liderazgo de padres y madres líderes de la coalición por la igualdad de Salem-Keizer. Los padres y madres líderes de la coalición por la igualdad de Salem-Keizer apoyan plenamente el mandato de uso de mascarillas de Oregón y el mandato de uso de mascarillas federal. Estos mandatos han estado protegiendo a nuestros maestros y al personal que ayuda a nuestros niños a aprender todos los días. Todos nosotros queremos agradecer a la superintendente Christy Perry y a la mayoría de los miembros de su mesa directiva escolar por mantenerse fuerte y firme en continuar apoyando los mandatos estatales y federales de que todos los que ingresen a nuestras escuelas siempre deben usar y mantener sus mascarillas puestas mientras estén en nuestras escuelas. Además, queremos insistir con nuestra superintendente y los miembros de su gabinete que a medida que comienza a construir la propuesta de presupuesto, la superintendente para el año escolar 2022-2023, que incluyan mucho más apoyo financiero al programa de apoyo a la salud mental de los estudiantes, en donde todos los niños y adolescentes que necesiten apoyo de psicólogos y consejeros certificados les puedan dar o ofrecer, puedan recibir la ayuda y el apoyo inmediatamente. Una vez más, agradecemos a todos los miembros de nuestra mesa directiva escolar y a la superintendente por reconocer el importante papel que desempeñamos los padres y madres de resolver nuestras brechas de rendimiento académico y la salud, seguridad física y mental de nuestros hijos. Trabajando en equipo, podemos recuperar el terreno académico que nuestros niños y niñas adolescentes han perdido. Muchas gracias por escucharme.
I'll read Connie's statement in English. Good afternoon, school board members and Superintendent Christy Perry. My name is Connie Chavez, and I am a member of the Salem-Keizer Coalition for Equality Parent Leadership Group. The parent leaders of the Salem-Keizer Coalition for Equality fully support the Oregon mask mandate and the federal mask mandate. These mandates have been protecting our teachers and staff who help our children learn every day. All of us want to thank Superintendent Perry and most of our school board members for staying strong and steady and continuing to support state and federal mandates that all who enter schools must always wear and keep their masks on while they are in the schools. In addition, we want to insist to our superintendent and her cabinet members that as they begin to build the superintendent's budget proposal for 22-23 school year, it must include more financial support for the student mental health support program, where all children and adolescents who need the support that psychologists and certified counselors give can receive the help and the support immediately. Once again, we thank all of our school board members and the superintendent for recognizing the important role parents play in addressing our achievement gaps in the physical and mental health and safety of our children and youth. Working as a team, we can recover the academic ground that our boys and girls and adolescents have been losing. Thank you. Connie Chavez.
Muchas gracias, Connie. Thank you.
Gracias.
We still have Mariano on the line, so I'm going to see if Mariano is able to unmute.
Sí, ¿me escuchan?
Sí.
Sí, bueno, muy buenas tardes, miembros de la mesa directiva escolar, superintendente Christy Perry. Mi nombre es Mariano Horta y tengo 2 niños en nuestras escuelas locales. Yo soy miembro del grupo de liderazgo de padres y madres de la coalición por la igualdad de Salem-Keizer. Como padres, nuestros intereses y responsabilidad principal es la seguridad de nuestros niños y mostrarles ejemplos de liderazgo. Los padres y madres líderes de la coalición por la igualdad de Salem-Keizer apoyan plenamente el mandato de uso de mascarillas de Oregon y el mandato de uso de mascarillas federal. Necesitamos mantener las medidas de seguridad para proteger a nuestros hijos y a todo el personal que con ellos trabaja. Por muchos años, padres inmigrantes y de color han sido ignorados. y siempre la voz de otros padres de otros vecindarios más influyentes de la ciudad ha tenido más fuerza que la nuestra. Recientemente ha habido un cambio muy positivo. Bajo la dirección de la superintendente Christy Perry, y le agradecemos su trabajo y liderazgo. Es muy importante para todos nosotros que ustedes como directores vengan últimamente reconociendo formalmente y en cada oportunidad los beneficios de la diversidad que hay en nuestra comunidad y en nuestras escuelas. Sin embargo, queda aún mucho por hacer para garantizar que nuestros hijos se sientan de verdad seguros y conectados a sus escuelas. Necesitamos escuelas que sean lugares de aprendizaje, no lugares inseguros y traumáticos para nuestros hijos. Gracias a todos los miembros de la mesa directiva por su compromiso para salvaguardar la salud mental y seguridad de nuestros hijos. Como padres de familia, debemos poner un buen ejemplo a nuestros hijos, apoyando a los maestros y a todo el personal del distrito escolar. Todos los padres y madres latinos inmigrantes de la coalición para la igualdad de Salem-Keizer lo venimos haciendo consistentemente todos los días. Por su atención, muchas gracias.
I'll read Mariano Horta's statement in English. Good afternoon, school board members and Superintendent Christy Perry. My name is Mariano Horta and I have 2 children in our local schools. I am a member of the Salem-Keizer Coalition for Equality Parent Leadership Group. As parents, our primary concern and responsibility is the safety of our children and showing them examples of leadership. The parent leaders in the Salem-Keizer Coalition fully support the Oregon mask mandate and the federal mask mandate. We need to maintain security measures to protect our children and all the staff who work with them. For many years, immigrant parents and families of color have been ignored, and always the voice of other parents from other more influential neighborhoods in the city has been stronger than ours. Recently, there has been a very positive change under the leadership of Superintendent Perry, and we appreciate her work and leadership. It is very important to all of us that you as administrators, directors, and principals come to formally acknowledge at every opportunity the benefits of the diversity in our community and in our schools. However, much remains to be done to ensure that our children truly feel safe and connected to the schools. We need schools that are places for learning, not places that are unsafe and traumatic for our children. Thank you to all members of the school board for your commitment to safeguarding the mental health and safety of our children. As parents, we must set a good example for our children by supporting teachers and all school district staff. All the immigrant Latino parents of the Salem-Keizer Coalition for Equality have been doing it consistently every day. Thank you, Mariano Horta.
Okay, our next caller is joining us on Zoom, and it's Hunter Newton. Hunter, are you able to unmute?
I think so. Did I get it there?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, perfect. All right, my name is Hunter Newton. I am from Salem. My wife and I have 4 children, 2 high schoolers, an elementary school student, and a 3-year-old. Nearly 2 years ago, when we started this 2 weeks to curb a spread, and it's been a downhill slope ever since. We have witnessed our children's education suffer, social skills deteriorate, and their anger and frustration rise. Our now 8-year-old was just beginning to get comfortable as a kindergartner when this all began. She began first grade distance learning, although learning was minimal at best since it was really homeschooling with the class meetings via Zoom. When they returned to the classroom at the end of last year, it was even worse. She regularly talked about how isolating and depressing it was to not see faces, to sit alone at a table for 4, and to not be allowed to interact with their classmates. Kids were not allowed to be kids because of adult fears and paranoia. When it came time for her to begin this year as a 2nd grader, we looked for ways to keep her in the classroom. When I reached out to administrators to find solutions, I received a rather accusatory response about this not being about parents' comfort or preference. I responded with an email detailing the mental, emotional, and physical toll these mandates had on each of my children. I included all of you in my response, but only one of you had the decency to respond to a concerned parent. Thank you, Marty. We will We withdrew our second grader from Salem-Keizer, and she is now being homeschooled. Both of our high school students were given the choice of returning to in-person learning or finding another alternative. Jade chose to return to school even with the mask requirements. One of them has the personality to roll with the punches and focus on what he enjoys rather than dwell on the negative. The other is a different story. Over the past 2 years, we have watched a student who was a leader amongst her peers, outgoing and motivated, become withdrawn and isolated. She is angry and depressed. A week ago, she was forced to quarantine during finals, and her anger boiled over, so I asked her to write down her feelings. What we got was the most open and honest communication we've had from her in 2 years. I'm going to read you a part of what she wrote. I'm overwhelmed. I'm scared. School is really important to me, and my future is really important to me. For the past 2 years, everything I've worked so hard to be good at in school is being ripped out from under me. Why are they risking my education and my credits over something no worse than a cold? School has always been tiring, but since COVID, these masks and hysteria, it's downright draining. It took so much away from me for so long, and I'm tired of it. COVID destroyed my mental health, and it keeps getting worse and worse. I just wished our student voices were heard, because all the schools are doing is destroying us. I expect there are many students feeling this way, many of which don't have a decent support system around them. The mask mandate nonsense must end. Our children are suffering at the hands of adults who swear they're looking out for our children, when they're actually creating a generation of angry people that will no longer see humans as other beings, just faceless masked entities. What our children need is the adults in the room to lead by example, admit the wrongdoings and the misinformation and the problems, and work to fix them rather than to use the children as pawns.
Thank you. Thank you, Hunter. Appreciate it.
Our next public comment is joining us via Zoom, and it's Beth Freeborn.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, Superintendent Perry, Chair Avia, and members of the board. My name is Beth Freeborn. Although I'm addressing you, what I have to say is equally intended for the parents and community members also listening, because for far too long, education has been inconspicuous to those outside the school walls. What follows is a plan for change, identifying some of the profound problems in our district requiring the attention of us all. For those of you who don't know me, I am a former elementary principal. It pains me to use the word former because I love my job, my school, and all the little people in it. However, after 19 years of pouring everything I have into my work, I realized that my values no longer align with that of Salem-Keizer Public Schools. What I find equally disturbing is the rate at which staff like me are willfully resigning despite an unprecedented staff shortage because of pressures to agree with these progressive ideologies, the indoctrination of our youth, and the constant push to grow in our wokeness. But this staffing issue is just one of the many concerning aspects of education happening in Salem-Keizer today. For this reason, I intend to continue advocating, unrestrained by my employment now, for what is truly best for kids. I will continue to support the students, teachers, and parents of this community with the hope that positive changes are coming. However, change can only happen when accompanied by action. What I'm truly hoping for is that those listening will join me in taking action to ensure critical changes are made for the sake of our kids and our community at large. Parents and community members, I implore you to find your voice and share your concerns with those before us this evening. It is my belief that we must persuade the district to return to a truly student-centered approach to decision-making where parents are partners in the process, not just with words, but with actions. We talk about inclusion. Well, why then aren't parents included at the table too? We need to reprioritize academic and social components which equip students for their future. Sadly, this past fall, it was stated by the current union president that it is no longer about what kids need, but what teachers need. This has been reflected in recent decisions by the district and in allowing the negative teacher-first voices to be pervasive in school communities, which is detrimental to our students. A kid's first approach can only be accomplished by truly putting students' needs above our own, which as parents, we know well. Since my first day teaching, it has always been about the kids. The shift to pandering to adult needs and desires, regardless of how far-reaching, is not what's best for kids. And this is the kind of thinking that must be shifted before any real change can be made. So I ask, at what point was it decided that public schools know how to raise our kids better, continuously piling more on teachers' plates, becoming their responsibility to teach all of the things? And what parents agreed to sign their children over to the state? It likely happened incrementally over the years as we've entrusted schools more and more, but parents have become viewed as detrimental by public schools, and it's time for us to take our kids back. It won't happen overnight, but we can return to what is truly best for kids In order for that to happen, it's going to take us standing.
Thank you, Beth. Thank you for sharing. And Emily, I believe we have our last caller for tonight.
Yep, our next caller will be Adam. Adam, are you able to unmute? And Adam, if you're able to unmute, you can go ahead and begin.
Members of the board, there will never be such a thing as a zero-risk environment for our schools, not with or without masks, social distancing, or vaccines. The blanket mandates and policies imposed on our children for the past 2 years represent an egregious and alarming overstep that trades one marginalized group for another. It's way past time we sound the alarm. I have 5 children, 3 of whom are school-aged. Last year, my 2 oldest attended a Salem-Keizer elementary school and were required to wear a face mask for the entire 5 hours they spent at school. As a parent, I wasn't allowed to walk my children to class because I wasn't allowed in the building. I couldn't have lunch with them. Oh no.
Unmute now.
Unmute.
No, we're hearing you.
I'm sorry.
Couldn't have lunch is where you left off.
Yes. I wasn't allowed to participate in their learning as a volunteer. I couldn't schedule an in-person meeting with their teacher. I couldn't even get within 6 feet of their classroom door. Access to my own children was effectively cut off during school hours. Members of the board, in what other sphere of society would this ever be tolerated? Where else do parents willfully send their children for 6 hours a day, knowing that as parents we will be excluded from even the smallest participatory role, knowing that we could be charged with trespassing for stepping foot inside the door? We have taken what is clearly abnormal and called it normal. Even more dangerously, we have called it good. We have called it right. But there's nothing good or right about excluding parents from the institutions that educate our children. That's wholly wrong. Members of the board, it's been 2 years of these overreaching policies. You're going to have to make a choice and take a stand that puts our children at the center of the conversation. Conviction requires courage, and I'm here to remind you that you have been elected to stand for our children and create and enforce policies that safeguard and protect their education as it relates to the whole child, their physical, mental, social, and emotional well-being. When you neglect any one side of the base, the whole building falls. And we see that devastating truth playing out in front of our eyes. I often hear the phrase, kids are resilient, get it tossed around in the discussion of masks and mandates and protocol. But it's not resilience we see in our kids navigating this bizarre and backwards school environment, it's trust. They're looking to their trusted adults to lead. Members of the board, our children are not inherently resilient, they're inherently ours. For my children, that wise stewardship role is mine. For our district, that wise stewardship role is the one we elected you to fulfill. This is a policy board, so reject bad policy. Members of the board, it's time for you to lead. Thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, everybody who had an opportunity to provide comment for us tonight. I do apologize again that we do not have additional time to hear the others who had signed up to provide a comment. I continue to urge that you submit your comments to us through email. We do read those and I really appreciate it. So thank you very much. I'd like to move on to our next item, which is action items on agenda item number 7. I'll ask Vice Chair Carson Cunningham to lead this section.
Thank you, Chair Avila. Our next agenda item 7A is the Black History Month proclamation. Our Black History Month proclamation for February 2022 recognizes and celebrates the numerous contributions of Black and African American people have made and continue to make in our country. Salem-Keizer Public Schools celebrates and appreciates the hundreds of Black and African American students we serve. Black History Month is recognized nationally and in the month of February. Staff recommends that the board approve the Black History Month proclamation, and I'm very pleased to be able to turn over the mic to our student advisor, Grace Caldwell, who will read the proclamation for us. And first, I just want to thank Grace for her amazing participation in the community learning session that we had, I believe, last week, right before Black History Month began. I appreciate your openness, willingness to share your story within our public schools, and your perspective was invaluable. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Black History Month proclamation. Whereas the 2022 Black History Month celebration national theme is Black Health and Wellness, acknowledging the legacy of Black scholars and medical practitioners in Western medicine, as well as other ways in which the Black community has contributed to healthcare. And whereas Carter G. Woodson and Minister Jesse E. Moreland in 1926 laid the foundation of Black History Month to recognize the achievements of Black and African Americans erased from the national history, and in 2022, we will recognize the contributions of those who identify as Black or African American health and wellness practitioners here in Oregon. And whereas Black in Health and Wellness considers activities, rituals, and initiatives that Black communities have practiced over the years to maintain health and well-being, as well as highlights the need to take seriously illnesses such as COVID-19 pandemic, in which Black and African Americans were infected with and succumbed to the virus at a higher rate than other communities. And whereas discrepancies in treatment for Black and African Americans in the United States healthcare system disproportionately affect Black and African American infants, who are in the most danger of not surviving at birth. Historical data shows an infant mortality rate of 10.8 deaths per 1,000 live births, compared to the rate of 4.6 white babies per 1,000 live births. And whereas system-wide bias and institutionalized racism continue to contribute to inequities across the U.S. healthcare system. Mistrust of the healthcare system dates to the enslavement of indigenous Black Africans, notably from 1845 to 1849, when repeated invasive experiments were performed on Black enslaved men and women, and further misgivings resulted due to the 1932 Tuskegee experiments, where numerous Black men died from not receiving medical treatment. And whereas mental health care is equally important, and racial trauma is experienced by Black and African Americans worldwide, witnessing unjustifiable murders and brutal assaults on Black and African Americans like Trayvon Martin, George Floyd, Eric Garner, Ahmaud Arbery, Tamir Rice, and Rodney King. A few names on a long list of many in the United States throughout the years, and who are among the victims of racial profiling and overly prosecuted and disproportionately represented demographic in the criminal justice system. Witnessing and experiencing these tragedies takes a toll on a person's mental health. And whereas Black and African American youth are especially vulnerable and are disposed to developing mental health issues related to social disparities and stigmas they face every day at school, at home, or online, mental health is crucial for the wellness of the whole person. And these children are less likely to seek out or even receive the specialized services or care they need to begin recovery, and are committing suicide at a higher rate than any other youth. And whereas Black and African American healthcare professionals currently represent only 1.7% of all professionals and serve as physicians, nurses, dentists, and many more health and wellness related positions, our white allies in Oregon must do the work to make Oregon a more inclusive state, where more Black and African American health and wellness professionals will be welcomed, in a state where a history of racism discouraged their presence. And whereas Salem-Keizer Public Schools will do its part through continuing to offer career technical education healthcare programs, which will continue to inspire the next generation of healthcare providers who will have a passion for changing a healthcare system into one that emphasizes cultural sensitive care and supports. And whereas 1,900 students identify as Black and African American in Salem-Keizer's public school system. In the district's ongoing commitment to community learning sessions, equity training programs, social studies, and Black history provide students, our staff, and our community a chance to learn more about Black and African American culture and the enormous contributions to American society. And whereas in Oregon, examples of this continue to enrich us and should inspire us to learn about those who practice medicine and dentistry in early Oregon and today. Now, therefore, the Salem-Keizer School District Board of Directors proclaims February 2022 to be Black History Month. In our ongoing effort to expand full understanding of all cultures that make up Salem-Keizer Public Schools, the board will continue to engage in shared learning opportunities with the community. Like the community learning about Oregon's early Black pioneers, Salem-Keizer School District Board of Directors aims to garner a deep understanding of the richness of Black and African American culture brings to the state of Oregon as we embrace justice, equity, and a wellness for all people.
Thank you so much, Grace. Okay. Chair Avila, are you taking back over, or I could ask for a motion?
I move that we approve the most Black History Month proclamation as read. This is Satya Chandagiri.
I will second.
I'm handing it back to you, Chair.
Oops, sorry.
That's okay. Director
Oh, we can't hear you.
Sorry about that. Director Inhofe-Pressey seconds the motion. I'll ask for a discussion at this time, if there's any comments. Yes, Director Chandagiri.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is a very important resolution, and I'll be supporting it, and I ask all my fellow board to support it. It's probably high time where we kind of show by our action and real accountability that we've started making changes, because there is a huge need. And often when we talk of healthcare and people in science, there are so many lost Einsteins and so many lost physicians, because our children have to develop, especially children from Black families, have to start developing the STEM identity very early in life, 5, 6, 7. And we really need to start at that stage, what I call cradle to career pipelines, if we have to really close the gaps in achievement and profession, especially in healthcare, the huge need. And CTEC is a great program, but my hope would be that we need to have robust education, robust mentoring, and robust sponsoring right from the time they're in kindergarten. Because by the time they're 6, 7, 8, already a STEM identity is formed. So that is how we can start making some changes. And it's really important. It's really important because by the time they reach middle school and high school, it may be sometimes a lot harder to change the direction. And there is a huge need. We can all say we want bicultural and BIPOC, diverse counselors, physicians, etc. But the pipeline has to start in the beginning. And for that, we need parents, families, and children, and our educators all working together to intentionally make those changes and investments. Because, otherwise it'll be hard to kind of close that pipeline. And schools do play a big role. Elementary schools do play a big role. So with that, I would be supporting it, and it's really important for us to walk the walk.
Thank you, Director Chandagiri. Okay, yeah, and I too share in those sentiments as well as Director Chandagiri, and just continue to work on embedding stories and history, which is Black history is also American history and needs to be embedded into our curriculums. I really encourage those listening to participate in those community learning sessions. It's a great wealth of knowledge and information, and get to know some personalities as we move forward. They're also on our website. obviously go back and review our Native American community learning session as well. So I really appreciate it, and just say thank you for everybody for supporting this. So thank you. I will ask for a vote. And all in favor, please raise your hand. I see all directors present raising their hand. Motion passes. There's no directors to say nay. So motion passes, and I believe our director, Sylvia McDaniel, wants to share a few words before we move forward.
Thank you, Chair Avila, Board Director, Superintendent Perry. First of all, I just want to say thank you to community members that assisted with just reviewing the proclamation. What's dear to my heart is Black health and wellness. I used to work in the healthcare field here in Oregon. And from my understanding, in 2007, when I worked in public relations at Legacy Hospital, someone walked up to me and said, "Congratulations, you made history." I said, "What do you mean?" They said, "You're the first African-American person of color to be hired in Legacy public relations." So apparently I made history at the time. So some of the people that I connected with were people that I actually worked in the healthcare industry with. A person by the name of Serena Stoudemire-Wesley, probably know the name Stoudemire, Chief Cultural Change Officer at the state of Oregon, works for the Department of Administrative Services. She also used to work for Legacy, actually in the other department called Community Engagement. I wouldn't be surprised if she was also a first. Adam Wright is head RN innovative nurse manager at Legacy. He actually reviewed it and had some really passionate remarks. As a nurse, he talked a little bit about nurses that sit at the bedside of their patients. People forget about us. We're the ones that sit there and calm them in their time of distress. So I thought that was really good because nurses, of course, have been really integral in the pandemic. And of course, Dr. Richardson, president of Salem-Keizer and NAACP, actually reviewed it. Gwen Carr had a nice conversation about it, Oregon Black Pioneers. And of course, our student advisor to the board, Grace Caldwell reviewed it, and Cynthia Richardson, our director of equity and outreach. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And I led a conversation, DI training, diversity equity training on just the impacts of health it has on individuals. And it was several months ago, but we focused on the impact of health around from racist comments, discrimination, and implicit bias that trauma, create the trauma of individuals, people of color, especially among Black African Americans, and increased heart rate, diabetes, and the list just goes on, and why it's so important to be mindful and how we treat people and see them as the true person, as individual they are. So thank you. We are coming up to section item 7C, and I will let Superintendent Christy Perry give us.
Yeah, can we take a 2-minute break, bio break?
Yes, we'll take a few minute break.
Thank you.
Again, so moving on to item number 7C. And we'll be discussing the authorization agreement of request from the City of Salem to the Salem-Keizer School District Taxing District, resolution number 2021-22-12. Superintendent Perry?
All right, this tax abatement tonight is related to a apartment complex of only 2 units in it and in a historic building downtown. So this is a small applicant with just the 2 reconstructed areas in it. And important to note about the tax exemption, it doesn't take away just any money from the district. We don't get any property tax on these properties that are coming before you to begin with, because any property tax is going to the urban renewal area. So this one does not impact the dollars into Salem-Keizer Public Schools. And I know that a couple of the directors met with a developer in this case, she only has these 2 and in a historic building, and so might have some thoughts on this particular tax exemption request. So with that, I'll turn it back to you to get a motion.
Great, thank you very much. Do we have a motion to adopt this resolution? Director Chandagiri motions. Do we have a second? I do not see one.
I'll second.
Thank you, Director Carson.
Marty had her hand up. I don't know who was first.
I was just going to second it. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
Director Hyan can do the second. That's fine with me.
Okay, Director Hyan seconds. Do we have a discussion? Yes, Director Chandagiri, and then Director Carson.
Oh, should go. Can I go?
You first.
Yeah. I really want to support this. There has been some public comments about not only low-income housing, which is really important. Don't get me wrong. Some of those low-income housings are over $500,000 to build, construct. I mean, the cost of housing has become unbelievable in the city of Salem and Keizer in this area. But we also need places where folks who don't make that kind of money can also reside, like teachers, educators, staff who work in our district, and people who work in the state. They also have to be there, because together we can really make sure that we can close the achievement gap or wealth gap in every level of care. I believe the way to support low-income housing is to bring down the unnecessary regulation and make sure that there is proper accountability. And that way we can really start reinvesting in areas where there is housing which are affordable, and it has all kinds of wraparound services built around it. Because otherwise what we are going to do is we're just going to be kidding ourselves thinking that it's only low-income housing, but it is really not low-income. It's a very expensive building. Like in the form, it's really not going to take care of all the issues that we are dealing with. So I would be supporting this, because we also need a place where our teachers can come and rent a home or live there. And not all starting teachers can afford a $800,000 or $900,000 home. So otherwise we'll end up having a huge problem in workforce growth, especially for who are starting their career.
Thank you, Director Chandagiri. Yes, Director Carson Cunningham.
Just briefly, we did meet with the owner of this property, Director Hinojos Presi, and myself, and appreciated her describing kind of the details around this small project. I think it's important to note that the 2 units that she's renting out are considered affordable housing, and also that due to the nature of the building, which is again a historic building in downtown, she will continue to pay property tax on a component of her building largely the part that remains historic. And so for that reason, and the nature of the project being so small with only 2 units without a whole lot of opportunity to encourage a set aside for low income, I feel that I can support this particular one.
Thank you, Vice Chair. I'm not seeing any other comments. Now too will state that I really appreciate this reconstruction of the remodeling of to make the space of 2 homes, which are for downtown space. I think for young professionals, that this makes good sense to help be part of the downtown area, revitalize, be close to transit, and the impact is very minimal, and the benefits of as Director and Vice Chair Karsenheimer just shared. So I too would be voting in support of this. Okay. Yes, Director Chandagiri?
No.
No? Okay.
Oh,
at this time, I will take a vote. So all those in favor, please raise your hand. All directors present are voting yes. So no directors will vote no. Adoption of the resolution passes. Okay, moving on to agenda item number 8, our consent calendar. Superintendent Perry, may you please give us a review of these items?
These are similar to those you get each month. So you have the personnel actions and also the approval of the grant requests. One highlight I'd like to put about the approval of the grants. The secondary pathways grant is really an interesting one because it really is a bit more of an equity-based formula for how dollars are given to schools. So the additional funds that a school gets are allocated for students earning 3 or more credits if they are either historically underserved students or have earned an industry recognized credential. So that's in our CTE programs, and every high school gets dollars through this, and it really helps boost our programs. And you can see, like at McKay, and I know Director Chandagiri, you've talked about some healthcare, and you can see at McKay, we've got that pre-nursing. We also have engineering, construction, technology. Those are just some of the sample programs that are getting some of this additional funding. We have more programs than this, but you can see some of those healthcare type field pathways throughout. So with that, I'll turn it back to you for a motion.
Thank you. I just want to quickly ask if there's a member that wishes to pull an item from the consent calendar. Director Hyen, you had your hand up?
Well, I was going to pull 8A, but I think the superintendent already answered that. So.
Okay.
So I move that we accept it as a whole.
Director Chandagiri motions that we accept the consent calendar as a whole. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Director Nose Pressey seconds that. Any further discussion on this? No? Okay. All in favor to accept it? Raise your hand, please. All directors present are voting to accept it. No directors vote no. Consent calendar passes. No readings. Agenda item number 9. Moving on to agenda number 10, information or standard reports. These are standard reports provided in written form from the board's review ahead of the meeting, not as a full presentation. The superintendent may have pointed to a couple of these reports in her earlier superintendent's report, or she may decide to quickly highlight something additionally again here. So.
All right, so I'll just go through just a couple comments. One is you have the KPI report, and well, let me just start at the beginning. First, the mental health and well-being. We pulled some of those highlights into the superintendent's report at the beginning of the meeting. There's more information there. The key performance indicators, because at the end of January, we focused on COVID response and what was happening in schools, especially around staffing shortages. We pulled that into a written report for you. And the middle school academic reports, I think this is one we should spend more time talking about at a future meeting, especially as related to grades. And especially as we think about dual language implementation and what do we do for our English language learners at the middle level, because you see some disparities there. So I think if we can build time into a future agenda, I think that would be really important to talk about. The ESSER 3 unfinished learning plan update is also in there as a report. And then finally, just a reminder about the budget committee appointment schedule coming up. We do have a deadline of February 17th for applications for the budget committee process. And then on March 8th, you'll appoint them. And our goal after March 8th, when we get the new budget committee members appointed, is to spend some time, especially with new budget committee and any new board members who haven't been through the budget process, to spend time ahead of the superintendent's budget message, which was released, I think the beginning of May is our first meeting for that. And just as a reminder, what happens in that first meeting of the official budget committee is that is the time I release the superintendent's budget. So it comes to you fully developed in a plan. And then my job is to present and share with you at that time. But ahead of that, I want to build up knowledge around what we've done this year and the budget committee process. So we'll need to build in some additional meetings around that. So with that, I'll turn it back to you so we can get on with the last items on our agenda.
Yeah, thank you very much. In sharing that, I really encouraged our committee members to apply for those two open positions in our budget committee. But I'm also just want to let them share some news that we will be having a special board meeting. It's going to be a board training session on February 26th on a Saturday. So committed to help improving our relationships on the board and for the district itself. So thank you. Looking forward to that. Moving on to item number 11, our board reports. At this time, I'll ask board members to comment on any activities they participated since our last meeting. Yes, Director. No, it was Pressy.
I just wanted to give a very brief update. It's been a minute, but I participated in the SCATS meeting where they presented 4 of the different projects that ODOT is considering with the new IIJA funding. I always mess up that acronym. There was a 5th suggestion during their initial meetings, but it was not presented at the SCATS policy meeting due to it being kind of like an outside recommendation. So I don't have a ton of information on it. I do know that it was brought forth as certain organizations that are more focused on the equity and climate aspect of our transit systems did not feel that the other 4 options accurately reflected the possibilities that we could have with the transit systems. Unfortunately, I was not able to stay for the whole meeting. That portion of the meeting did take the normal allotted time. And then also, I had the pleasure of attending another Saturday meeting at 8 a.m. start time for our OSBA Legislative Policy Committee that Director Carson Cottingham also joined with me, where we got a great orientation on the committee and planning out the agenda for the legislation in the coming years. I think like 2023, 24 sessions. So looking forward to continued participation in that.
Thank you. Yes, Director Chandigiri.
Well, I just want to say, Grace, that was wonderful. You and your grandma and all of you, that panel was amazing. I enjoyed it, the one on Black history, and I learned so much. I want to come and meet your grandma and learn some more from her. So that was a beautiful presentation. Superintendent Perry, the one on safety, along with our law enforcement officers and all the complexity, and Chris Moore, I really want to say thank you very much. It's really important. I hope a recorded version can be made available to the community, because there's so many important elements that people have to understand, and I encourage the community to attend the other ones. On another note, I really want to say thank you, Chair Avila, for taking a leading us and joining the New Mexico dual language that consultants will be coming, and having that meeting where Superintendent Perry and your team and Miss Barbara Gao and others, and Director Ineos Presi and Osman Ortiz. So I really appreciate that. And thank you for today's presentation on bilingual, duolingual immersion, and what are some of the models we should be adopting as there's change in demographics and to improve the outcome. So let's keep that momentum, and invite our community to really embrace this idea of bilingual immersion as a model which has perhaps the best outcome. So, and as a board, I ask all of us to support that, what the amazing work the district is doing. So thank you very much.
Well, I have nothing to be thankful for you thanking me yet. So I appreciate the work that you've done on this, and we're very passionate of dual language, and just so you know that, we moved to West Adam just to put our kids into the dual language program. We'll go with Director Carson Cunningham and then Director Hine.
I am the backup to the superintendent for the Mid-Willamette Valley Homeless Alliance. And so I was able to attend one of their meetings, but I also wanted to just briefly talk about the point in time count that occurred across our community. I was able to volunteer for that and go out and speak to a number of the unhoused across Salem. I would encourage anyone in the community who's interested in doing that next year to sign up. You heard amazing stories from people, and I think there's a direct connection to what we see as far as our youth and families on the brink of homelessness, or who are unhoused right now in our schools. There is a summit, virtual summit coming up this week, the 10th. And they will be doing some youth and young adult homelessness planning to guide some funding in the community. So that's an exciting event. I believe it's open to the public from 3 to 6 on the 10th. And then attended the Community Bond Oversight Committee last night, heard amazing updates from the team. Got to do 2 virtual tours. I think everyone's excited to get back to the point where we can actually go and see all of the investment from the bond measure into the community and really see kids and teachers enjoying the spaces. But I continue to be really impressed with all of the work happening thanks to community investment in public education. And Director Ineos Presi mentioned the other work we're doing with the Legislative Policy Committee with the Oregon School Boards Association. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Hine and then Grace.
Yes, I participated or didn't participate. I listened to the safety presentation the district did, and of course attended the CBOC meeting. I've been a part of that since its inception. There were some very brave children that wanted to speak tonight, and they didn't get a chance to. Somebody told me about a real-time screen crawl translation that we could do in English for when we do have Spanish speakers, so that maybe we could have heard from these kids tonight. And I hope we can look into that so we can hear more voices. And just for the record, I am not I am anti-mandate. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a great recommendation. Yeah, interesting. I've not thought about it on the real-time translation. So, Grace.
Last week, I believe it was last week, I had a great conversation with Liberty House with Chris Moore and Nita, and we talked about mental health and kind of how to find supports. We started a conversation. We didn't really get into solutions yet, but we have plans to meet next month as well and kind of go over just solutions, just kind of getting the conversation about mental health and having kids back in school. So I learned a lot from that. So that's kind of what I've been up to.
Just another thing on your plate. Thank you. I really appreciate everybody sharing, being out there, getting informed. I'm doing this community learning project and with our homeless and sheltered community here, and hopefully take on to provide a solution or an option for our assistant superintendent, Ethan. And I'll be connecting. I'll be reaching out to our superintendent and our Director Carson Cunningham for those ideas to help solve a community-wide issue. Don't think we're going to solve it, but we can make an impact coming together. So I really appreciate all the counselors, all the educators, all our staff, our classified individuals supporting our students, and really want to appreciate from the bottom of our hearts for all you're doing. We acknowledge all the hard work that you're going through, and we continue to support you as we can. So thank you. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. It is 8:43 p.m. and I will call this meeting adjourned. Thank you.
For more videos and information, go to capitalcommunitymedia.org and follow us on social media.